is gratitude and appreciation? Well, be grateful in all the memories that the self might have carried out, and from in its complete upheaval of annihilation for itself through outside circumstances and reflections. Be grateful for when the bubble bursts and revelation is the outcome of the day. And breathe that in for a moment. Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 343, lesson 300, pages 806 and 7. And take a few deep breaths in. Breathe in. Feel it expand. Feel your expansion. And breathe out. Congregate within the heart space center. Imagine you breathing in this prana from above and so below, and just bring it with every breath in. Congregate into your heart space center. See this ball of light expand and ripple out. And every time you breathe in, feel the expansion. And breathe it out. And when you breathe in and out, nice deep breaths in, concentrate and focus on the breathing in a circular motion, in and out, without any gaps in between of swallowing. Breathe in from the nose and out from the mouth. And find that center stillness from within, that spark, that chi, that prana. From every breath in, it creates that tuba torus. And that infinity, in and out, in and out. And within that cross section that we've been focusing on this whole time, when we breathe in, as above and so below, and that ball of light expanding outward. So from vertical in, horizontal out, that's the cross section of the eternity symbol. And we can always go in this direction too. So it creates both worlds. Again, the cross. Breathing in and out. Rippling out and expand that ball of light. Find that place, anchor within the heart space center. Feel the grounding. And open up into the multi-dimensional multiverse. So let's begin with today's affirmation. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. Take another deep breath in. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. The universe is allowing for these thoughts to surface, and that once they have served the body of the self real well, are the very things that bring it pain now. And as they surface, the self can rid of all its pain it feels by them. The unnatural aging process from stress that the self created into pain, from its resistance of the self and body, is only real when it believes it so. In getting past the falsehood that expects to be taken seriously and to threaten it with needs to realign, a pledging to religion, religion is no longer. The self can break free from the casting ruling class cultured tribes, and that would have it spirituality turn into a religion. When bringing the spiritual to join the physical, not even gratitude can escape from the parasitic disagreement and branching off to further break down upon the feeding off of and the outcome of its depreciation. The quantity does not bring quality to such cloning, and rather a means from which to compete for the unreasonable lack that redirects the self from gratitude and feeling of appreciation. Page 807. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. No need to run away from anything. It is in the chasing for the things that will repel from it, and in the having of as quantity. But just because the self has something it appreciates does not mean that the many of its world can be grateful for the same, and in such a way, and vice versa. This is where the currency for such trading can occur, and yet it does not, because the flow is pinched off to create more power with, and then released to be directed as a target to the certain population. Same with the turning of a knob on a faucet, or even when we have a pop and we shake it, or even a champagne and we open it and just go pop. That's resilience, man. When we unscrew that cork from a wine bottle. Well, not so much, really. So the only, but the few parts from the entire body, from the self, can function in this way and eventually to circulate insufficiently down to the rest of the less than next to nothing, counting on their misfortunes. Unfortunately, my hands are tied. I am just a puppet. How many times have you heard of these words, these sayings? I'm afraid, or unfortunately, or I'm so sorry, or, and it's used in everyday common language. Well, how many times have you heard this from people? Oh, my hands are tied, unfortunately. Doesn't that just annoy you? And this type of circulation does and can attract the feeding of pain and being trapped within unfavorable conditions if you allow it, if you believe it, if you take on those borrowed thoughts and accept to engage with those type of people in order to play and fit in with, which will they will not allow you to anyway, because their hands are tied and they're very unfortunately afraid of us and allowing us in to engage and play with them in the first place. So the physical can get to be very static, that only gratitude can ease and then transmute into excitement. So today, find the space to spiral upward with appreciation. Find the many probabilities and position them from being glad at what is possible. And the purpose, it begins with gratitude, and that from self-appreciation to impress upon the many of its world. Enlightenment is the graceful possibility, and from this perspective, be as a carefree, light-hearted being to perceive it so. My name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis, and I also wanted to share of this planting of this lime tree, and behold, the very first lime. This is very impressive for a small little child like this. Impressive plant, this tree that was planted from a Mennonite woman not too long ago. It was maybe a few months, not even 6 months, and look, what a real blessing. This is a lime. This was one of many episodes from The Sovereign Light, named after my ministry, a course in metaphysical spirituality, and this is an audio-visual version of my book. And thank you for joining me. And with that said, I'll leave you with today's affirmation. I can appreciate the moment to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude. And take another deep breath in. I can appreciate the moments to myself, and so that I may restore within the restful stillness of this gratitude.